What are we going to talk about today? I said MTE tagging, semantic tags in manufacturer tool products. So why, what, and where? So this is the topic we are going to tackle starting as today. So I did some agenda. So I will start checking with you to make out of the why an overview on the manufacturer's job, even though you are all manufacturers and you know well what you are doing. Then we will see the what, so exploring some semantics possibilities, and then we will see a bit of documentation. And I don't want to be tedious giving you all theoretical things, so there will be also a demo I prepared myself to use actually the manufacturer tool for real as I wear in your shoes. And then there will be a Q&A that will be most like a debate. I'm already saying it's the first time that I'm using this webinar platform in my life, in my career here at Kenix. So I don't know, probably we have to chat or something like that. Colleagues explain me how to do, but okay, I'm still not sure if it will work that way. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's start with the agenda point number 1. So in the slide, you can see what are the typical tools that you are used to. And I would like to start recap on what I do think, looking at the people connected today, what I do think they are the manufacturer tool profiles that are interested into this business. So in general, in the business of KNX, and there will be profiting by the KNX IoT extension. So the first profile I can identify, it's a brand new manufacturer. So someone who has few devices in the portfolio, so zero or few experience on product manufacturing and very low experience in certification. That's just to fix the concept. Then you see a second profile, a long-standing manufacturer. Our president is one of those example given. So they have a portfolio of multiple KNX devices, even 100, done in the last 30 years. Lot of install base and a lot of medium-high certification experience. Another flavor of the manufacturer, another profile that I can see in that, it's the in-house. So the one who will do the project from scratch in-house. So they are using actually the main development approach. They do everything themselves. And they are also working as a service provider for the profile number 4, which is also very used nowadays in KNX, which is the rebranding manufacturer kind. So they are using the OEM development. I'm looking for a service knowledge provider that does the job for me, and I relabel my device as such. So this is just to fix in any of those profiles. They are using actually all the tools that are there in some form, and especially the one that are interested into projecting themselves in the IoT world, they will need to understand very well how to do it properly with the manufacturer tool. Any of those, doesn't matter who you are. And now I'm changing slide. Any profile you are coming from, you can even be a mix of the above, will be confronted with a set of questions while developing devices, which is, which one should I choose? KNX IoT or Classic? Now, KNX IoT is a buzzword. It's a buzzword. We have seen certifications for the first devices already happening. So this is one of the first questions you will be confronted with. Do I have to do a plain or a secure device? Do I have to do a worldwide, so for multiple market, or just a specific target market? And by the way, don't take me wrong. I believe that your business decision owner will have much more questions than that. But I would like to keep it simple for the start. So based on those trinity of questions, I would say, yes, the security, we all know it's a must. So you well know that NIS2, it's already there, and it is evolving nowadays with one of the spin-off is this Cyber Resilience Act. And what does this imply to you? That starting from 2027, because this is the time frame of the of activity or action of this Cyber Resilient Act, there should be a push towards security. So devices that are not supporting any kind of security, looking backward, all the plain certified classic KNX devices are one of those. They cannot be commercialized anymore, not even produced. So there are limits on that, and I'm not an expert on the field, but I'm just saying that this is a game changer. So here you also have, of course, KNX Secure coming in. And this is not only for European, even though the NIS2 and the Cyber Resilience Act are European Union action, definitely. But that implies that if security is a must, then you will have a need of an internalization, of course. And no matter which manufacturer profile you come from, no matter you are an OEM or a main manufacturer, you need to provide something which is international. And luckily, you have opted for the good choice, choosing KNX, because KNX is already a standardized protocol. Not only an international one, it is standardized in the EN 50090 series. And the HBES information model, so the semantic model, and now I'm coming to the point, is standardized too. And this is the way to go for the definition of every building automation system, not only KNX based. That's the implication of the second must. And this is why. And then it comes to the third point that for me it's important for you to know, and which is, of course, if security is a must, and if the internalization based on KIM is a must and will be the must-have, then of course the definition and the injection of the semantic product or the semantic data in the product type, it will become a must. That's why we're here today, to put you on the correct path to the success. So again, as I said, no matter in designing IoT devices or classic devices, this semantic exercise, it's not only for the brand new IoT devices. It could and it should be part also of the retrofit install base somehow to project everything in the future, because this will be projecting your product portfolio to an interworking and interoperability next level, totally different. So, and as you well know, or if you don't know, you will be well known from today, that the semantic ontology, semantics injection in general, it must be, and it is already part of the manufacturing process. So how is that? So I come back to what it was presented to the various board on the KNX IoT discussion, so decision takers back then. This is the big picture, so the semantic journey data. And as you can see, the bullet point number one, it happened in the manufacturer tool, and that's why we are here today. So while creating the database product entry, you need to use, this is the first top arrow, the KNX information model data too. So everything starts from that. And as I make in the note, so that you are very well aware, the KIM model, the manufacturer tool uses the KIM model, so the ontology, since the version 6.0. It's already there, and I will show you later in the demo how to make use of that, how to experiment and whatnot. So that clarifies why you should opt for that. So, and what we are going to do to check it. So, as I said, we recently have seen with a lot of pleasure, of course, at KNX. It's exciting seeing things that are going as you planned for a lot of time, long time. So we just see a certification that started for Point API device, brand new Point API devices that are still without semantics so far. As far as I know, then I could be wrong, but again, this is a process ongoing. But so if I go back and I step back to the specification, I highlighted this for you that says for Point API device, for this discovery service resource call, that the response shall contain the resources for the functional block. And if we look at the Swagger page, which it's lying, I will show you later. Anyway, I linked it in my presentation that I will hand over later. If I link that at the Swagger call, there is indeed a method which is called /f, which should return the collection of functional block that you are very well known used in your Point API device. And this is certified and tested by EITT tests. So test lab that are accredited to do KNX interworking test, sooner or later, I would say sooner, they will start challenging your device under test to return things like the functional block definition. And where does the functional block come from? It comes from the semantics, this ontology KIM model again. So just to continue about, so what do I do to enable the semantic tagging possibilities for a functional block definition example given in my MT project? I hope it will be readable enough, but the concept is pretty clear and easy. So now you see the screenshot I have taken from the 6.3, so it's a brand new, not yet released else from beta manufacturer tool version. Anyway, this is already since 6.0. So if you have manufacturer tool 6.0, you see the same thing. You have your project on the left side of the screen, and in the project property, you can see the first enabling flag, use KNX ontology, that must be turned to true to profit off. And then we are already creating target ETS version 6.x product as brand new Point API devices. And this is the condition set to start. So, and this is where you enable the semantic tagging possibilities in the MT project. But what does it mean? It does turn manufacturer tool to fetch or to show you in some particular model dialogues the use of the semantic tagging from KIM. How? Where? So, as I said in the introduction, also security is a must. And you well know that the brand new device, the Point API device, they must have security enabled by default. I'm not the super expert. Probably I would have consulted prior to the webinar, one of my expert certification colleagues. But as far as I know, there might be the possibility you disable the security, but just for testing purpose of the devices, not for the field installation. So be aware that this is also something that you should very carefully take a look at. And this is done where in the manufacturer tool, same project, different screenshot, because I open the application program properties dialog right now, where you can see the secure enable in the little red frame, which will, for the time being, is still not set to true by default, but those are the kind of things that in the manufacturer tool of the future you need to be expected as to be set to true by default. And then the third and the last for let me say create from scratch a point API device. How can I declare I want to create a point API device in my MT project? Then it's a different area. As you see, it's the hardware. It's the hardware sheet. And then in the hardware sheet, you have to select the medium type IoT. By doing that, you are creating a point API device. So it sounds simple, but I know that your job is not ended up there, because this is just the declaration for what concerns the KNX surrounding about. So this is the Trinity of. So where can you find information about the entire ecosystem extension to the IoT? So first of all, everything as usual starts from the specification. And the specification, the moment I will hand over you the link, the presentation, you will have also the link. It's in the member resource page of your MyKNX account as KNX manufacturers. So then I love the stack overview. Then you need to have the KIM. The KIM comes built in, so this ontology model comes built in the manufacturer tool installation file. So, but to start producing devices, point API devices, or to start to inject semantics in the retrofit KNX classic devices, then you have to get at least the dictionary version 55 from the link that I provided you. I will open the link later, close to the Q&A session. So anyway, the link is here. It's in our public GitLab repo. And you should use the released version v2, which actually it's updated to that kind of version. And then, of course, you need to use MT. I posted here. This should come again from MyKNX or from the shop. This should be in your portfolio already. You just need to get the latest one installed on your PC. So this is the three pillars. You can start to make the semantic tagging a reality in your product portfolio. So let's just a small parenthesis about questions, because I know in the pool of registrants, there are also people that I have met already on the same topic at Light and Building that have seen already probably what I put in the presentation. Anyway, it's just to make a complete picture before digging into the details. So if you have any question, you can shoot. I'm looking at the chat right now. Okay, Q&A. So let me see if this works. So can you see the question on screen? Santiago. So in case the project offers support for ETS5, it is possible to add semantic tagging. Well, yes, technically seeing, it is possible. And I will show you in my demo why. In few words, the semantic XML extension of the product definition, so in the product XML, there is already a a placeholder for the semantics since schema 2.1, 2.2. So it's still possible. There are, however, not yet implemented in the manufacturer tool 6.0.1.2 the porting path. So for the time being, target ETS 6.0, it's the must-have. Whatever it will be later, if we will go back to ETS 5, I cannot tell you now. It's not known to me yet. So just to say, but it might be a possibility. And by the way, I'm in front of you manufacturers. So if you ask that with force, then we will do it, of course. So, and then there is, thank you, Carlos. So all the KNX virtual device manufacturer tool project can be found somewhere. I have no clue if those are of public domain. They are in our catalog. They are in the online catalog under the KNX Association manufacturer. I believe you can import it in your manufacturer tool and explore it. Anyway, again, if this is something that we need to, they are the only product I have in my hands to play with. So I will use them a lot, and I believe there will be no secrets around those or how they are built in. My demo actually will be on that. Then give me just a second because time is running. So I see a lot of questions in the chat, but I have Q&A and chat. Mr. Ferstel, are the texts protected by the certification signature? They are in the product data. So the product is signed. So I would say yes, but it's a good point to check. Anyway, there is also a serialization format implied in it that I'm going to show. So you will see, and probably you will reformulate also the question. So Mr. Krieger, we need to get our customer migrating from ETS4 to ETS6. Well, this is a general question, not depending only on the tagging injection. What I see is I'm taking you not as the president, but as the Schneider guy. So Schneider Electric has a portfolio of multiple devices. And for interoperability reasons, you will be creating new point API devices. And how to make them or to project the entire portfolio to a new level of interoperability, it's definitely means that also some, if not all, but some, for starting, of the portfolio devices that you have in the KNX Classic domain, they also need to be equipped with semantics to be more interoperable, or, as I have presented in my big picture, to profit of features of the ETS of the future. So your customers, not only the ones who are buying barely the devices, but especially the integrators, the system integrators, they will need to profit of semantics injected by the manufacturer in the device to have, of course, the newer tools like ETS6, because things like smart linking, as it's again something that it was presented in many boards, they will not be implemented in ETS4 or ETS5. So this migration is something that it's necessary. So I see other questions. Okay, I know that's just a thank from Carlos. Thank you. So, okay, well, time is running. I will do a next round of questions anyway after my demo, if you don't mind. So, okay, well, that's the closing of the thing. Let's go to the manufacturer tool. Now I don't lose you. This is the KNX Virtual Product Collection project. As you can see, we have the ontology flag here and the target version already set. So what does it mean turning this flag from true to false? I will show you directly on the file system. On the file system of that project, the fact that you turn into true the flag will make appear an ontology file. And where does this ontology file come from? It comes from, wait a second, because I have the browser on another screen. It comes from the GitLab repo that I linked to you. Okay, you don't need to be connected to our GitLab to see those, but they are publicly available. So it comes from the HBase information model collection. So, and under this information model collection, you have the release v2 version, which is the one of the dictionary version that I told you, for which you have the ontology turtle file. So this actual file is the one that will come available to the manufacturer tool project in the folder of the project. Okay? What does it also mean? Now gigs are calling, we are going to take off. So now, device developer, this is most important for you, more for that from the decision taker. What does it also mean? That if you find out in other work in progress, newer version of the ontology with the dictionary version, which is higher than, you can also experiment what it's upcoming, because we are maintaining this ontology file quarterly. So, and this implies that you can easily download this ontology file, clone your project on the file system, substitute the file on your file system, and you are projected on a newer ontology than the one that comes built in. So just to track the head of what KNX Association is doing. Then, second thing, the secure flag. You have seen the secure flag, it's in the application program. So in this case, I have to come back. Most likely, I choose an old application. I choose the switching actuator for a twisted pair, which does not come secure. This is for sure the secure version somewhere, but my colleague did it. I didn't do myself. Anyway, what I want to show you practically is that let's do a tagging together and let's see what is the effect. Damn it, it's already 12. So I knew it was not enough one single session. Anyway, this application program is module based, but it doesn't matter. So you can have those kind of the same semantic tagging available in module based or not module based. So the first thing you can and you have to do, if you follow my tip, is to check channel wise. So you see I've selected the dynamic part where you can select the functional block. Okay, up to the 6.3 version that is not yet in the market, you will see select functional block experimental in parentheses, while it's not now anymore experimental. And when you go and select the functional block, you could say, okay, this application function is a switching actuator, which functional block I belong to. And in this case, you can pick up from the list of functional blocks that are coming from the KIM that they most fit your application program. What is this benefit of doing so? That if you say that your application complies to that functional block, then you can sub-select, so second model, the corresponding data point that are mandatory or optional as they are defined in the KIM, as they are defined in the specification in chapters in volume 7 since ages, but at least, not so custard, I would say. And then you say, those are the COM object ref, part of the functional block that are corresponding to the corresponding function point. And whenever you have satisfied all, that imagine everything will become green, inner validation on it. Otherwise, it's not validated and the semantic is not injected. As a simple case, let's assume that I do everything. I do also have as a nice effect due to the validation the following. I have selected ComObjectRef 00 and ComObjectRef 11, so the on-off and the info on-off has been part of this functional block definition and has been part of this application function that I defined. And then I can also see in the static part in the ComObjectRef that the 00 and the 01 already have selected DPA, info on-off example given, that is inherited from the functional block definition. I already played a lot with those, so I can already tell you this is my fault. I didn't clean up before starting the demonstration. Sorry about to say. But why I did that? Because on top of the pre-selected, coming from the structure of the functional block, data point annotation for your COM object, you can also annotate more, because this is a freedom that is given to manufacturer from the manufacturer tool. Like this is a red and green and blue, because it's also part, or it could be a partner into an RGB something. So, and what does it mean in concrete? And then I'm done. So you have seen I have tagged a channel with a functional block, and I have tagged extra ComObjectRef with extra DPAs. I build my project, and by rebuilding the project, I would see, and now we come to the serialization format that it's related to the question of Mr. Peter Ferstel. Come on, Melido. Okay, completed. If we go to the out, and this is built up, and we extract the data to a folder, you can see this is application function 2507, 2507, 250710. This is the one. You can see, oh damn it, not that other. Somewhere, I will simply search to be quick, semantic. You will see in my ComObjectRefs that some semantic XML tags appears, and they appear for the functional block and for the ComObjectRef. So I will simply search them all. So find next or find all in the current document. There will be many. So as you can see, I have in the application program in the ComObjectRef the reference to semantics, and also in the channel ID as the functional block. So, and this is, yeah, they are all one after another. Sorry, I didn't see that. I thought they were spread out of. And this serialization format is also something we're going to cover the next appointment in 3 weeks, and much more. So the next appointment, we will dig deeper in what are the possibilities. What does this serialization format means? Where does this number 417 come from? What are the function point meaning, and what are the extensions? So the usage ETS will make out of that later.